What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Excuse me, I have a little bit of congestion, but I want to talk about something real quick. I just saw it on the Twitterverse. Toys for Bob allegedly is going independent. Now, Donkey Unicorns and Ponies are gonna be like, oh my gosh, doom and gloom, Microsoft sucks, blah, 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 right? But I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at it like, okay, Microsoft could have fired and closed down Toys for Bob, like another company that fired another studio that's city in Europe, UK, London Studios. Anyway, instead, Microsoft says, yo, instead of firing you and closing your studio down, which is what Sony did, y'all go independent. And the rumor is, this is from Steven Totilo, by the way. Rumor is that, A, they might actually partner with Microsoft on their next project. And I'm like, see, that's how you keep the video game industry healthy and sustained. By not closing the studio, saying, all right, go free, little birdie, and come back here, we got some food for you. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't Sony do that? Why didn't Sony go to London studio, say, y'all could go independent? You know what I'm saying? Y'all find some capital out there, find some people with a lot of money to fund your things, or you come back, you pitch a game for us, pitch a game to us. We'll see if we want to bite. If not, you know, good luck to you. Instead of closing them down. Now I know it's more to it than just saying that. I mean, you know, there's the logistics of how many people are in the company. You know, you need capital to pay all these people salaries and all that stuff. Now, maybe London Studios, the way that is set up, that they really couldn't do that. They couldn't say, okay, look, you guys are gonna go independent. How would that work? You know, Sony owns it, so how would whoever takes over, maybe someone with capital would buy them, and that's what it would be. Or the person who is the lead, the CEO at London, or whatever you want to call it, the head boss, would get capital from somewhere in order to facilitate a takeover, if you will. But anyway, regardless, Sony did it wrong, Microsoft did it right. Let's go. So, Toys for Bob going independent, that's cool. Like I said, it's not about the traditional console war. I think that, just like everything else in the video game industry right now, is changing. The business models are changing. How you make money, how you are sustainable is changing. And so is the idea of these studios. Now, Microsoft has the money to keep them. They could keep them if they wanted to. But I think what's happening at Microsoft per se is that they are talking to their studios, they're talking to their devs, they're talking to the leads of these devs, of these studios, and they're saying, what do you want to do? Are you happy? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? If you have a studio and you have heads and they're unhappy, you're not gonna get good work. Your games are gonna suck. That's not how you want. You want your devs to be happy. And so if they wanted to go independent, like Bungie did all those years ago, Microsoft has done this before. Like Bungie, they were like, you know, Microsoft wanted Bungie to wait. What was the story? I think Bungie wanted to do Destiny, but it wasn't called Destiny. They wanted to do an open world or whatever type of game. And Microsoft was like, nah, man, make some Halo. That's all you making. And Bungie was like, nah, we out. And they bounced. They made Destiny. They made Destiny. I mean, you know, successful as it was, I think the Destiny train is about done. And you know, so this isn't like a first, a unique type of thing. There has been precedent for this with Microsoft and studios. So I mean, they've closed studios obviously too, but I think this is a better trend. And if they can facilitate the release and these studios going independent, it's healthier for the industry, because it's not like a shockwave where it's like, oh, you have to break up the studio and then they have to reform under a new name, and like just let them go. You know, you guys work out the paperwork. You want right to first refusal, Microsoft? That's cool. You know, you guys do whatever you need to do to not have people fired. You know, Sony's not on that page. Sony doesn't care about the devs. And that is, I mean, you could argue at me in the comments below. I said it, I say it every day. Sony doesn't care about the devs because they charging devs for crossplay. That's not caring. That's not, oh, we care about the health of the studios and our devs. No, you don't. You're charging for crossplay, an essential part of video gaming. You know, in order to have the most gamers on your game, you're charging. Like Helldivers 2. Because they published it, they're not charging. But if anybody else published it, it's a multi-plat game. You know, it's blowing up on PlayStation, blowing up on Steam, blowing up on Xbox. They would charge them because that's their business model. And it sucks. It's dumb. But anyway, the release, the indification of Toys for Bob opens up so many other opportunities for Toys for Bob and for Microsoft and for these devs that would have otherwise been kicked to the curb out of a job, you know. And that's my main thing. You know, I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline. I just saw the little bleep blurbs and stuff. So I was like, all right, the byline. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I'm sure all the details are. It just popped off on Twitter. So, but yeah, this is what I want to see. I want to see moves that aren't destructive to the industry, and this is a move that isn't destructive per se to the industry. It's changing. It's an evolution, but it's not destructive. So that's cool. But yeah, I'll make this a short one because my throat is about to jump out my body. And my voice is out. Hey, baby, how you doing? Anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. Show man, tag and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. What you think about Toys for Bob going independent, Sony's version of cutting costs in order to get their profits up, and why hasn't Sony done this? Why hasn't Sony said, yo, y'all go independent? We'll have first right of refusal. We can work together in the future, but we don't want to see y'all lose your jobs. Why didn't Sony do this with all the 900 layoffs? Why? I know, and you can say, well, why didn't Microsoft do that with the 1,900 layoffs? Well, Microsoft is a bigger corporation. They had the merger. There's a bunch of different factors. But yeah, you're right. But in this instance, I think London Studio could have been saved. They could have been like, all right, we're just London Studios, not owned by Sony. We're independent now. Why didn't it happen? Why did they fire everybody and close down the studio? As opposed to Toys for Bob? That's my question. Hit me up in the comments. I appreciate y'all, and I'll check y'all in the next one. Till the week.